I mean, going into the game, I thought this would be a good game based off the fact that Kirk looked a lot better in week two, and I felt that the Falcons they're a good team when it comes to playing zone. Uh, Based off of their defensive coordinator at who's or their former defensive coordinator, head coach Raheem Morris, he does a good job um, with defense and playing zone, playing good sound zone coverage. And I thought that would be potentially difficult with the Chiefs as they don't really have a lot of really good receivers, and they're outside of really Rashi Rice and Kelsey hasn't really looked the same this year. He looks kind of just slow, and I'm sure he'll turn it up at the end of the regular season somehow, but he definitely doesn't look like the same guy that he was for the playoff run last year. So I thought that this would be a good matchup from that perspective, and the fact that their offense have been looking better. But um, so what did you think? What did you think about this game?
From mostly, I mean, this story of like the last like two games too. I just think Mahomes hasn't played all that great, and like if I want to be completely honest, I think Andy Reid. I mean, as great of a coach as we always say he is, I think he was the main reason why that they won this game versus like we used to say, oh, Mahomes won in this game, or Mahomes and Andy Reid won this game. But this game, I just think Andy Reid just like he knew exactly what to call. He knew exact. I mean, obviously Mahomes was making the throws to Rasheed Rice whenever he needed to, but it seemed like Andy Reid just had the right play call to get Rasheed Rice open. Right, he was able to. I mean, Mahomes was struggling. Right, he was like, okay, we're just gonna run the ball down their throats. Right, they had a what's it called, a rookie running back, Carson Steele, come in, 17 carries for like I think it was like 80 something yards. I mean,
72.
70. Okay, yeah, 72 yards. I mean that's great, right? Um, Again with Mahomes, he threw a pick. Um, I mean, like it was definitely a ball that he wished he could have had back. I feel like if he put it more towards like the back pylon, I mean, this guy was wide open. He would have definitely caught the ball, right? But it's Mahomes in my eyes hasn't played well, and there's just something about this Chiefs defense that this. I mean, it's always in the regular season they don't play well. But it's just something about their secondary this year that I don't like. I definitely do think that they're missing L'Jarius Sneed, right? I mean, they still have Trent McDuffie, but like, they, there was this one, I think one drive where the Falcons just penalties on penalties on penalties on that secondary, and yeah, I mean, as far as for Kirk Cousins and the Falcons, I mean, they look good in my eyes, right? Especially offensively, like Kirk Cousins is making it happen with some I'd say a mediocre offensive skills position, right? Like they have Ray, Darnell Mooney, Drake London. I mean, they're great, but not the best, right?
Kyle
Um,
Pitts,
yeah, Kyle Pitts. I mean,
Bijan,
yeah,
Bijan's
I think Bijan is definitely like their best offensive player, without a doubt. Which really helps. Like if you can have a good running back, right? That's definitely good. I just don't know if I can see wide receiver consistency from these wide receivers. It's just like, how long will Ray be able to put like 100 yard receiving games, right? Um, but I mean, people still do have Drake London as a really good receiver. So that's good for the Falcons, right? He's able to perform. Like I think he had a touchdown. He had the game-winning touchdown against the Eagles. As if I recall correctly, he might have also had a touchdown against the Chiefs this week. But yeah, I mean, for the Chiefs, I just feel like Mahomes just has to play better. I mean, they are 3-0, and with Mahomes still needing to play better. I mean, a big part of that would probably be that Travis Kelsey needs to be Travis Kelsey again. He can't have 6 catches in 3 games. That's kind of unacceptable from your star tight end.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting old now, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
He's 34. He's about to be 35 in a couple weeks. He's probably more just focused on. He's probably more focused on settling down, building a family. I think that's getting to him a little bit, probably.
Yeah, but sometimes the stuff he does is it's like he doesn't need to be too physical. Like a lot of his gameplay is just being smart, right?
I'm not
Uh,
even saying that. I'm just saying he just got his edge taken away. He's not the killer that he once was.
yeah, I mean
He's
it's
too
still
busy.
it's
He's
still
busy encouraging Taylor Swift to make music. He's busy. He's busy
yeah.
being soft.
No, it's okay. It's still a young season. I mean, I don't see Travis Kelsey not being a factor for the Chiefs
Yeah,
lasting too long.
yeah. For me, the thing with the Chiefs is I feel like they just got worse as a team overall. Um, where they probably wanted Hollywood Brown to play a decent role this year, and
Yeah, they're
he's not
definitely
gonna.
missing him too.
And yeah, he's not gonna play it all this year. And so they lost MVS. They don't have Miko, right?
I think they still do have him.
Is he just not playing?
Yeah, I think they go Juju, Xavier. I mean, Xavier Worthy might have just taken his role.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Well, yeah. So they basically replaced MVS with Worthy, and I wasn't really a huge fan of Worthy. Obviously, he's extremely fast, but I wasn't a huge fan just off his size, and kind of felt like he was more of just like a straight line type of guy. And to be honest, I was kind of confused by the pick when I had seen it, but I was like, trust. I guess Andy Reid knows what he's doing, but I mean, he is definitely dangerous when he has the ball in his hands on like an end around or something like that. But if we're talking about pure receivers, I mean, Kelsey's not what he was at the end of last year, and they really just have Rashi, and that's really it. To be
hmm
honest, now that Pacheco's hurt, um, it's really not a lot of. It's almost worse than Mahomes had it last year with regards to skill position players around him, and so I think they might end up going through a similar thing that they did last year on offense and defensively. Like they lost L'Jarius Sneed,
Mike
they lost
Edwards,
they lost Willie Gay. Um, is there anyone else?
Charles Omenihu is still not back from his ACL.
Okay, yeah, they don't have Charles Omenihu, who they had for most of the year last year. Um, and so I think this team just kind of got worse from last year to this year. And I think a lot of people expected them to bounce back after the Super Bowl win, but I mean, I know they're still 3-0 right now, but um, I think they might. I think the expectation was for them to bounce back in a way where they're going to be dominant during the regular season like they were prior to last year. But I think they might face some of the same issues that they did last year again this year. And I don't. It's a risky thing to do because you don't know if you're going to be able to turn it on like they did right before the playoffs started, and so they need to figure that out and make sure that that doesn't happen ASAP.
Mm. I mean, but that is like the one team that I know has the capability to figure it out, right?
It can, but you just never know. I would
Yeah.
say, and you don't want to play around like that. At the end of the day, the NFL is it's not easy. It's not easy, and you don't want to you don't want to have to be in that situation if you
Mm.
don't have to.
And plus for the Chiefs, they kind of need someone. They kind of also need someone else to step up too, because what's it called? I mean, they're giving the ball to Rasheed Rice so many times. I feel like he's been. I think the last two games he's caught a ball where he got ended up getting banged up at the end of the run. So
Yeah,
they definitely need like guys like Juju and like other guys to step up, like Xavier Worthy to be like a bigger, just like not a guy that can catch the ball two times and like try making something happen, but a guy that they can go to more consistently.
yeah, he leads the league in catches this year. So I mean, they're gonna put him to work this year, and I'm happy I have him in my fantasy teams. So I'll take it. But and like I said about the Vikings last week, they probably also have a top three. What they have going for them is they have a top three duo at offensive and defensive coordinator, or their duo of Andy Reid and Spags. So So I think that definitely helps them out a lot, given the fact that they're lacking a lot on offense and they lost a couple players on defense. I feel like from what I've seen from McDuffie this year, even going back to I think the Bengals game, I feel like he hasn't been exactly the lockdown guy that he was last year. And there have been a couple penalties that he has had, um, and so they're going to need him to step up, especially given the fact that they lost L'Jarius Sneed, who had a great season last year. They're definitely feeling that, I would say.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's played all right. It's just
Yeah, I'm
there
not,
have been.
but I mean, he was like an All Pro caliber last
Oh
year.
yeah, 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 exactly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Falcons, though, I mean, Darnell Mooney might be their number one receiver. To be honest, I don't. I think we got to. I think the narrative has to change about Darnell Mooney. Honestly, I'm not saying he is the number one, but he might be their number one receiver. Drake London, he's solid too. I was never a big fan of his. He's not really fast. I mean, he's a big body. If they can learn to have him use his body, use his size to his advantage. I mean, that's obviously a good player to have. But it felt like they wanted to get Darnell Mooney the ball all night, right? They were just giving him short passes, screen passes. They were just trying to get the ball into his hands. Um, and they're getting a lot out of Ray Ray. So I mean, I don't think I don't think a lot of that stuff is gonna change. I mean, those guys were able to get open and and find holes in zone and in zones. And um, I think if they have Kirk Cousins back there, he'll be able to consistently hit them and get them the ball. I think that this offense is only going to get better. So they should this is a it's a pretty legit team, I would say, the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.